Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zeng here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 18 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. We are just jumping back right into things, of course, with the new team that we featured for the last couple of episodes. It's been a fun run with this team. I actually played a couple of games off screen just for fun to kind of get acclimated a little bit more to it, and also just kind of figure out where its weaknesses are and how I can play better with it. So we'll see if the games I played off screen can transfer to me playing better with this team. I think Gardevoir it was actually one of the first Pokemon I wanted to build this team around, but Gardevoir right now just feels kind of weak in the metagame overall, and I bring Charizard a lot more, so I might consider replacing that member, although I don't really have time to get like new Pokemon in game right now, so might just stick with it. Either way, it's been a fun run with the team so far, and I have been enjoying it a lot, so hopefully you guys have as well. We're going to get this episode started with a 17-10 opponent from Japan. As always, if you guys enjoy Road to Rank, please share support by leaving a like in the video. I'd really appreciate it, and don't forget to check out all the previous episodes with this team and the Sand team, and if you haven't seen the Sand team analysis already, go check that out as well. I'm currently in finals week, so I'm a little bit busier, and I don't have much time to do non-battle related content, but I am still working on my team building guide. I want to get that out as soon as possible, just delayed a little bit, and I'm still doing my best to get out daily episodes of Road to Rank, so thank you guys for watching. But let's talk about this game. Kangaskhan, Landorus, Zapdos, Volcarona, Amoonguss, and Tapu Fini. So pretty standard team composition, but that doesn't make things any less scarier. I'm thinking of leading Landorus and Naganadel. I think that's how I learned how to pronounce it now, but some people are still saying it's wrong, so, I kind of just want to call it Barney, because it looks like a big purple dinosaur. So, let's see. I like those two a lot. Deciding which Mega is tough here, because you could definitely make a case for both, but I was going to say I'm pretty weak to Amoonguss, but both Gardevoir and Charizard have pretty decent matchups against it. I might actually give Gardevoir a shot here. I think if there's any game that Gardevoir makes sense, it might actually be this one. And I kind of want to go with Amoonguss as my last one, just because being able to spore things and protecting Gardevoir is really nice. So I think I will go with Amoonguss. The only downside with going with these Pokemon or there are two downsides. One, Landorus can't just freely Earthquake because I don't have any Levitators or Flying-type Pokemon. And then two, if my opponent brings his or her Amoonguss, then, Charizard has the threat of one-shotting it. Now I don't have that threat. It's also tough to give up Hydreigon against, these kind of team comps because Dark Z just does so much to Kangaskhan, Zapdos, Volcarona, etc. So we've got a pretty standard team comp from my opponent, but it's still going to be really scary. We do see King Landorus come out from my opponent, though, which I'd say is a decent lead for me, or decent lead matchup for me, just because I get to switch out immediately, and I get the initial Intimidate off against both my opponent's Pokemon, which is always good. So, the first question is, who would you fake out here? If you're my opponent, I'd assume you'd want to fake out with the Kangaskhan onto the Naganadel. And that prevents a Hidden Power Ice, a Tailwind. My Intimidate does go first, which is also good to know. So, could be AV, could be Z-move Landorus. Let's see. I kind of want to switch out into Amoonguss and just go for a U-turn. Yeah, the idea behind here is I have Rocky Helmet on Amoonguss, so if I switch into Amoonguss, the Kangaskhan will take Rocky Helmet chip damage, I'll get the U-turn off, and then I'll be able to bring the Naganadel back in. So now I have Spore Pressure. Kangaskhan does Mega Evolve. Now, one of the things that are interesting is that Kangaskhan, of course, could carry Ice Punch. I actually ran Ice Punch after Worlds in 2015 at Regionals because I thought AV Landorus and Band Landorus would be a lot more common than Scarf. We do just see Fake Out this time around, and it is going to target the Amoonguss slot, which is perfect, so it's going to take all that nice Rocky Helmet damage while I don't take too much in return, so I should be able to do around 50% to Kangaskhan immediately turn 1, which is nice. So I'll definitely take that. Yep, Kangaskhan falls under 50%. The question now who do I want to switch into? Because Gardevoir actually could be a decent switch, because now I can just Rage Powder and Hyper Voice. I kind of like Gardevoir here. I just kind of want to get a Tailwind up if possible, but I don't know what Landorus is going for here. This one's a pretty tough decision. I think you could really justify both. Gardevoir puts on more pressure immediately with offense, whereas I can get more speed control. I think I'll bring Gardevoir, actually. Yeah, just because Kangaskhan's in a really awkward spot now, especially because now my opponent knows I have Rocky Helmet and Amoonguss is still pretty much full health. So what does Landorus go for here? Might go for a Z move. I traced Parental Bond, not Intimidate, unfortunately. That would have been nice. But nope, just a U-turn coming out. Okay. So Yeah, targets Gardevoir. I'm fine with that. I mean, that turn 1 definitely works out more in my favor in the sense that I get a lot of nice damage off against Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan's still intimidated. Landorus doesn't really do too much in return. And it's actually Volcarona coming in. Okay. So that makes things a little bit more interesting. I could now go for an interesting play in Trick Room Protect. Do I really want to do that, though? I kind of want to conserve Amoonguss if possible, just because it has a pretty favorable matchup against my opponent's entire team. I can go Mega Evolve, and I'm just afraid of Volcarona getting a Quiver Dance off right now. That's my one concern. I think I'll Psychic and switch out into Landorus. Yeah. Maybe I should have covered for a Volcarona Quiver Dancing, but Kangaskhan actually switches out. Okay, perfect. Into Landorus. Oh, wow, that's so good. Nice. So not only do I get the another Intimidate off against Landorus, but I also get a Psychic off into Volcarona, and even if Volcarona Quiver Dances here, like, I should still be in a pretty good spot. So I'm pretty happy about how this turn works out. Makes sense for Kangaskhan to switch out. It's in a really awkward position right now. But if I can knock out this Volcarona, then Amoonguss can really support my team a lot better. I do have to be careful, though, because, you know, Amoonguss doesn't do that much offense, so I have to play carefully around my offensive members. So, yeah, this is pretty good because I know that my Landorus is faster. At least it looked like it, given that my Intimidate went first and my U-turn went off first. So, I don't think we speed tie. Volcarona just overheats. Perfect. Nice. So, that means Volcarona now most likely is going to want to switch out. You see AV Landorus takes that decently well. So, now my opponent's at -2 special attack and -1 attack with Landorus. So, this is really good right now. And Psychic does a very nice amount to Volcarona as well. So I'm kind of just like choking my opponent out right now, which is definitely favorable. I'll definitely take that. Question is what I want to do with Landorus. Part of me actually wants to switch out. I think Kangaskhan might come back in here. I could also just Rock Tomb. I could like Rock Slide Hyper Voice. That's probably my safest play. I feel like that covers my options more or less, yeah. I'll go for the Hyper Voice on the Rock Slide. Yeah, basically because if Volcarona is forced to switch out, then I get more momentum, and it does switch out to no one's surprise. So it's actually the 4th Pokemon, Tapu Fini, coming in. Yeah, this is why I wanted to bring the Gardevoir, just because I'm able to kind of spam Hyper Voice right now. So Misty Terrain does go up, but I can still Spore the Landorus, and I still have Sludge Bomb. I do miss the Landorus, which is kind of annoying with Rock Slide, but oh well. Does an okay amount to Lafini there. And Landorus just U-turns. Okay, I'll take that. Yeah. So at -1, not really doing too much to my Gardevoir, which is also decently bulky. So, I mean, it would have been nice to hit the Landorus just because getting all like any additional damage is always nice, but I'm still okay with this because I get a free Hyper Voice off now. It is Volcarona coming back in, so I can kind of just click Rock Slide again. My only concern right now is that Volcarona has the 50% berry because I feel like that's pretty likely, and then it'll be able to heal back up, which is kind of annoying. But, wow, I do a lot to Lafini there with Hyper Voice, and no berry on Volcarona, so that's really good news for me as well. Kind of curious as to whether it's Scarf Volcarona or not. Let's see. Overheat went before my Psychic, so I don't really know, actually. Could Overheat here again. I think I kind of just want to... What do I want to do? I want to conserve Landorus if possible. I think I'll just Hyper Voice. And I'll just Rock Slide Hyper Voice here. Yeah. Let's see if it's actually Scarf Volk. Yeah, it is. Wow. Okay. So I thought it might have been. That targets down Gardevoir. But it doesn't even get the knockout. Yeah, I thought Gardevoir might be bulky enough to hang on if it were Scarf Volk. I do miss the Rock Slide on Volk. That's actually pretty bad, because I think I'm going to proc Fini's Berry here, and it might actually get a double knockout. I should have Rock Tombed and Psychicked. That's actually really bad for me. Like, I'm still in a decent spot, but not too happy about that. Yeah, I mean, I do get the knockout on Volk, but man, it actually was Scarf Volk. Because what I could have done was... oh, Fini Icy Wind's interesting. Okay, so it has Icy Wind. Does that knock me out? It doesn't even get the knockout on Landorus. Okay. So now I get to bring out my Amoonguss. And I think I should be able to close out this game with Amoonguss and Naganadel. Just because I do have HP Ice as well. So Kangaskhan comes back in. If it goes for the Fake Out, it's just going to decrease its own attack. Or sorry, it's going to have minus... what do I want to say? Rocky Helmet. I don't want to switch Landorus out right now, so I think I'll just go for the Sludge Bomb onto Feeny and the Rock Slide. And actually, I'll Rock Tomb. But yeah, I mean, missing Volcarona is actually pretty unfortunate because had I connected, the Hyper Voice becomes single target, and I think that actually might just knock out Feeny. So yeah, I mean, Hyper Voice actually does more than Psychic single target, so that's kind of annoying because I think if I hit that, I probably just win the game outright. But I probably still could have played safer. I just felt uncomfortable because I didn't really want to switch into either of the Pokemon in the back that I had. So now it's a little bit more awkward, but Kangaskhan just opts for a Frustration. Gonna target down to Moongus. Okay. So it's gonna take a ton of damage from Rocky Helmet. Now what does Feeny go for? Muddy Water? Nope, just Icy Winds again. Okay. So I'll knock out Feeny here. I still have my Sash conserved on Naganadel. This is coming down to the wire. Yeah, if I lose this, I'm going to be kind of frustrated because I definitely feel like I was in a very commanding position and I kind of threw. But let's not focus on that right now and try to focus on winning this game. I mean, I think now this is tricky. This is definitely tricky because I could Rage Powder. I do have HP Ice. That might be AV Landorus. The question is, like, my opponent, what do you do now if you're my opponent? Do you just Rock Slide? Because the most obvious play for me is to just Rage Powder and HP Ice Landorus, and Kangaskhan faints for Rocky Helmet. But Kangaskhan could choose, like, to Sucker Punch to intentionally avoid. But then I'd still be okay. Yeah, I think this is probably my safest bet. So I'm going to just Rage Powder and HP Ice. My opponent might not be expecting HP Ice either. I could have Sludge Bomb Kangaskhan, but I don't know about that one as much. Actually, in retrospect, that might have been better, but let's see. So, obviously, no switches right now. Okay, so Kang looks like it is just attacking. So I think I win here then. Yeah, because Kang should faint. Landorus is faster than Kangaskhan, interesting. Okay, yeah. Kang should faint here by targeting a Moongus from Rocky Helmet. And then it's just 1v1. It hung on? What? Oh my gosh. Okay, well now, like, does Landorus Earthquake or does it just Rock Slide? What do you do? Sucker Punch, Rock Slide? I'm gonna protect this turn. Oh, I can't believe I thought Kangaskhan was in Rocky Helmet KO range. Oh man, I'm not happy about that. I also thought Kangaskhan would be faster than Landorus, so the big thing there was because Rock Slide went first, there was only one proc of the Rocky Helmet. I don't know what item that Landorus has though. I can't really figure it out. Yeah. Can 2 Sucker Punches knock me out too? That's the question. Is it Z moved? Okay, Landorus Earthquakes himself. Oh, that's what I was hoping for. Because now I just HP Ice. Okay, yeah, so that was a really big play. Or that was a really big turn. The reason why I protect there is because, you know, if you're Landorus, I also don't know whether King is going to Sucker Punch or not. But that's obviously not Scarflando, and HPS will just knock it out because I'm faster. Wow, that was a crazy game. I'm not too happy about how I played, so I'll talk about how I could have played better after I click HP Ice. But that was really intense. Yeah, so the reason why my opponent goes for the Earthquake there is because if I just attack there, I'm probably, you know, you would think, okay, my plays here, I'm just going to HP Ice the Landorus or Sludge Bomb Kangaskhan. So what my opponent was thinking, okay, I'm just going to Earthquake and Frustration, and if I get one of those 2 attacks off, I win. Now, you know, with the Protect play, then the question is whether or not Kangaskhan has Sucker Punch. Because if Kangaskhan doesn't have Sucker Punch, then Rock Slide single target probably still doesn't knock me out. So then it comes down to, do you just click Earthquake or do you click Rock Slide? And what do you predict me to do? So that was, like, that might seem silly on my opponent's end, but honestly that's a play that I can definitely understand, and that was why I protected. That was exactly why I protected, just to scout out for it. The only downside of protecting there is if the Landorus is Z-moved and goes for ground Z-move. But if it's not Z-move, and it didn't look like it was Z-move because I hadn't used it up until that point, I thought I was in a pretty good spot. But yeah, that was really close. It was a little bit too close for comfort because I had a really good lead, and I think my matchup was pretty solid overall. Basically, like, my opponent was able to swing a lot of momentum back into her favor when the Scarf, when it did, like, reveal to be Scarf Volcarona. I even thought it. I was like, it might be Scarf, but I don't think I had any great switch options there, just because if you look at what I had in the back, Amoonguss, not the best to switch into Volcarona, and the Landorus, or sorry, the Naganadel, definitely not very good either. So, I mean, had I hit the Rock Slide on Volcarona, then, you know, I probably don't have to deal with any of that, but I did opt to go for Rock Slide instead of just Rock Tombing and Psychicking. The reason why I Rock Slided in Hyper Voice, because I was thinking, oh, if my opponent switches in, then I'll just catch anything off guard and just get a knockout, but in that position, it's very likely that my opponent probably just stays in. So, that ended up being a lot scarier. I think that turn I didn't play optimally, and because of that, my opponent had a very big chance to get back into this game. So that was a really crazy game. But let's talk about this next one. My opponent's running a really cool team. Latias, Thundurus, Therian, and Landorus-T. Fun fact, I actually had 3 of those 6 Pokemon, or those 3 Pokemon, on a rain team I ran back in VGC 2013. I had Politoed, Kingdra, and Scizor as my last 3, so kind of cool to see those. Don't know really what function they have on my opponent's team here. Only 1 potential Mega Evolution in Blastoise, and then you got Heatran and Mimikyu to close it out. So, actually, sorry, Latias totally could be a Mega Evolution as well. I really don't know what to expect here. I mean, Blastoise does get... It could Mega, could Water Spout, could Rage Powder. Not Rage Powder, Follow Me. So there's a lot of options. I definitely need Landorus in this matchup. Which Mega do I want? I'm leaning towards Gardevoir. I think I'm going to go... Naganadel. Landorus? Maybe Hydreigon instead, actually. Landorus Gardevoir. I think that's okay. I'm just really Heatran weak with this team, though, and that's a problem. My only real ways of dealing with it are Dark Z and EQ from Landorus. I have to play very carefully should Heatran come out. Of course, it's tough to justify bringing Heatran all the time against a Charizard, Landorus, Hydreigon, and Naganadel, but I'd like Amoonguss here, but anytime you bring Amoonguss, you give up a lot of firepower. And given that my opponent has a Heatran too, no pun intended, I feel like I need all the firepower that I can get. Alright, oh man, that last game, yeah. Like, I'd say the biggest misplay was just clicking Rock Slide Hyper Voice instead of Rock Tombing Psychic, which is just more ideal, because I get the double knockout there, and then I just instantly win the game from there. And then, yeah, I didn't think Kangaskhan would be slower than Landorus, but fortunately my opponent bailed me out there in the end. That was really crazy. But we see Landorus and Thundurus from my opponent here, okay, as I go with the Naganadel and the Hydreigon. So, this is decent. I mean, I can Tailwind. I don't know how fast my opponent's Pokemon are, because I kind of just want to Dark Z immediately. Now, who do I want to target? Who's the bigger threat? Let's see. Based off who I have in the back, I'd probably rather knock out the Thundurus, just because I have HP Ice as well. So, I think turn 1, I'm just going to Tailwind. And Dark Z move into Thundurus. Maybe I should have conserved the Dark Z move in case there's Heatran in the back, but getting the knockout on Thundurus would give me a lot of momentum. And no switch outs, and no Scar 5 there, so that's good. Okay. Let's see. Whoa. Not what I was anticipating. That's actually pretty scary, because I might just get Earthquaked now to knock me out. That's really cool. I didn't expect that. And it's Life Orb. Wow. Okay, my opponent really likes speed control, I guess, but that's actually really good for me. Because I get the knockout onto Thundurus, and now I have HP Ice pressure against Landorus, and I can switch out into my own Landorus. So, I think my opponent maybe should have just Earthquake there. Like, because Electro Web, you're already getting enough speed control, right? So, like, why go... I guess that might have been a cover for a Landorus switch in, so then you decrease the speed. But I feel like my opponent had a prime opportunity to go for, like, a Rock Slide or an EQ, and that could have been really bad for me. But now I have all my offensive threats still, and I get Tailwind up, which is really good. So this lead, you can just see, is so strong. So I was not expecting to see both Electro Web and the Rock Tomb. Even though I'm running Rock Tomb myself, I was expecting, like, just Earthquake, Rock Slide, maybe a Thunderbolt. But Mimikyu comes out, okay. I kind of want to just Sludge Bomb Dark Pulse Mimikyu. This is the downside, though. I mean, now Mimikyu could maybe set up a Trick Room. Although I guess that's not even that concerning. I think I'd rather actually just double up onto Landorus. Yeah, I'll just HP Ice. And I'm back to neutral speed with Hydreigon now. But an EQ wouldn't knock me out. Yeah, I'll just HP Ice and Dark Pulse. Because I have the Intimidate for Mimikyu, and I can potentially reverse Trick Room with my Gardevoir should Mimikyu go for it. Yeah, and I think in retrospect, I should have probably conserved my Z move. I didn't really think about how I could have used it against Mimikyu as well, and like had I had my Z move here, you know, I could just Sludge Bomb and Z move. But I'm going to target down the Landorus here just because I have HP Ice, and getting that out of the way would be nice. And what do you know, HP Ice actually gets the clean knockout, so it's a beast boost for me, plus special attack. And I knock out the Disguise from Mimikyu. The real question is, what is Mimikyu going to go for? Is it going to Trick Room? I do have a flinch chance as well, so if it is trying to Trick Room and I flinch here, that's pretty much a good game. If it doesn't set up Trick Room, I think I also win here, pretty much. So let's see. And it doesn't Trick Room. Okay, that's really good. Just goes for a play rough. Okay, well, I gotta back my my talk up now because I said I think I'd pretty much win if my opponent doesn't Trick Room. So let's see if I can actually, you know, maintain the win. I think I'm gonna bring Landorus here. Yeah, because if my opponent has Heatran, then it has to be Heatran coming out. Otherwise, it's not Heatran, and I've got Gardevoir in the back. And I still have a couple turns of Tailwind left. And it is Blastoise coming out. Okay, nice. Nice, okay. Shiny Blastoise, that's pretty cool. So I wanted to bring Landorus for the initial Intimidate against the Mimikyu. Just because that's good. Disguise is broken. How many turns of Tailwind are left? There's still 2. So I am just going to Sludge Bomb. Actually, in retrospect, Gardevoir would have been better. Yeah. That's actually pretty bad. Yeah, I was hoping Heatran would be the last one, but I forgot I can't just Earthquake freely next to me. That's still something I'm trying to get used to. I guess I'll just Sludge Bomb Rock Slide here. I mean, if Blastoise doesn't have Fake Out, it just like does maybe. Oh, my opponent just forfeits. I don't know if I agree with the forfeit there, but if my opponent didn't have Trick Room, then I win the game. So maybe that's why. I mean, you could still maybe claw your way out of it. I don't know. I just don't think that was like a position where my opponent needed to forfeit. But maybe my opponent just didn't want to play it out, or, you know, obviously my opponent has more information than me, so figured, oh, I can't win this. But I don't know. I still felt like I was in pretty good control of the game, but I saw that the one way I lose this game is if I get faked out onto my Naganadel, and then the Trick Room goes up, and then Blastoise just gets spam Water Spout, which is kind of bad. So, Rock Slide gave me outs there, even if my opponent was setting up Trick Room. I don't know if my opponent even had Trick Room on that Mimikyu. It didn't really look like a Trick Room team, which is why I figured it might not have. But, yeah, we do have enough time for a third game, so another 3-game episode for you guys, but why the heck not, as we try to climb through the 1700s. But we get Mike from Missouri with a rating of 1741 for our next opponent today. Yeah, I don't know, that was a pretty interesting game. And we've got a rain team, which should be fun. Palway Kingdra, Scrafty, Bulu, Raichu, and Gengar. So, pretty much looks like your old school rain teams, just with Bulu thrown onto it. Now, there is definitely Perish Trap, like, possible, because that's going to be Mega Gengar. So, Politoed obviously gets access to Perish Song, and then Scrafty often carries the eject button, so you can switch things in and out. So, Hydreigon does really well against Mega Gengar, obviously, but you do have to worry about the Kingdra, obviously. That's a concern. I'm probably going to want to bring the Charizard in this matchup. Mungus is really good, yeah. I'm going to lead Amoonguss, actually. I think I like Amoonguss and Hydreigon with Charizard. And what do I want as the last one? Landorus could actually make some sense here because he could just EQ the Gengar. Should have Mega Evolve. But Bulu could come out. I guess I'll go with this guy. Good old Barney, just because he can Sludge Bomb and he has Focus Sash and can Tailwind. And being able to set up Tailwind against Rain/Gengar is always good. So, facing against Mega Gengar, I think that's definitely a Mega that is going to be very good this year, and I will definitely try to use it more. But, yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup because Gengar's biggest asset is being able to trap Pokemon in, but Amoonguss, should it be able to get Spores off, you know, really helps me out. So, going with the Hydreigon and Amoonguss, definitely something we've seen in old years of VGC. We see Raichu and Bulu, and I'm actually really happy. This is actually so good to see, just because I've got Sludge Bomb on Amoonguss. So, yeah, my opponent's already in kind of an awkward position. Let's see. Hydreigon still gets dunked kind of hard. You probably fake out Amoonguss. Yeah, so I'm just going to go for a Spore onto the Raichu slot because it seems pretty free right now. And maybe I just Z-move here. I mean, I'm just afraid of Bulu, like, Z-moving, knocking out Hydreigon. Maybe the best place is just to protect. Yeah, I'll Spore and protect. I don't see much downside to this. Even if I get faked out, like, what really happens? I get to scout out for what Bulu wants to go for, basically. Could be Scarf, too. I know Sajin was running that on that last team. Fake out, yep, into Amoonguss, so that's not too surprising, but I don't think Bulu should be able to do anything here. What? Oh my god. Are you serious? Okay. I see. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Well, okay. That's definitely not something I anticipated, but okay. I am going to Spore now, and I think I'm going to switch out. Yeah. So the reason why I'm going for Spore here is if I shut down the Raichu slot, like Amoonguss is slower, right? And this is why Amoonguss has just always been such a good Pokemon in VGC, and Sleep in general is such a good condition. But Raichu either attacks or it switches out. I mean, it could have Protect, but most Raichus don't carry Protect, right? So it's like, I either just put you to sleep or something switches in and gets put to sleep. Raichu's staying in, so I think you should just get put to sleep. Now, I am switching in on a Dazzling Gleam, but it's a couple Bulu going for Dazzling Gleam, which shouldn't really do too much. And Raichu does Volt Switch, so yeah. Basically, whatever is coming in now is getting put to sleep, and that is really good for me. And I can use that for free because I know Bulu's out already, so I don't have to worry about a Grass type coming in and blocking my sleep. So yeah, I get to put whatever's coming in and it's Politoed, which is good. And now I've got the double poison against the Bulu, so Bulu's probably going to want to switch out, and I can just Sledge Bomb and Spore that slot. I'm wondering like what item the Bulu has. It just Dazzling Gleams again. I mean, I don't think that does over 50% to Barney. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, my opponent's just in a really tough spot right now. I mean, Amoonguss itself is really good against my opponent's entire team. Amoonguss is like Rain's like nightmare. And yeah, actually, it's so funny. Like, even though I'm flying, I'm grounded, so I actually get to like get the recovery. I'm going to Spore and Sludge Bomb the Bulu slot now. Ooh, I kind of want a Tailwind actually here. Yeah, I should. I'm gonna Sludge Bomb Bulu and Tailwind, because I might as well get speed control up while I have the free opportunity to. Now, I could Sludge Bomb and Spore the Bulu. Oh, man, these forfeits today. Ugh. I guess my opponent was really just like, wow, I have nothing for Rain, and I was trying to cheese you with the Dazzling Gleam pick at the very beginning of the game. Yeah, I don't know. That would have been a very, very, very uphill battle for my opponent to win. And I kind of won that just off team matchup. I mean, Amoonguss, I had Charizard Y in the back, which would have been so hard to deal with. Like, Raichu Bulu as a lead just doesn't do anything against Amoonguss. Politoed doesn't do anything against Amoonguss. I mean, if you look at my opponent's team comp, Gengar doesn't really do much other than, I don't know, it could like Shadow Ball or Sludge Bomb. That's like a 3 KO. I could switch out, and Grassy Terrain was up for me. You have Scrafty, which really doesn't do anything other than knock off and Ice Punch, which already doesn't do very much damage. So the fact there was no way to hit me for super effective, and the fact I could just continuously Spore and redirect attacks, and I had Sludge Bomb, like, once I saw that lead, I already was like, okay, really good. And then fortunately, I didn't get cheesed by the Dazzling Gleam immediately, and I think once I made it past there, I pretty much had the game. As weird as it is to say, like, locked down, unless my opponent had some really crazy attacks. Obviously, you should never be like, oh, I've won this game until, like, you never win until you win, but, yeah, I don't know. That matchup was just so heavily skewed in my favor, especially given that I had Charizard Y, so, not really a full 3-game episode for you guys, but, I'm probably gonna call it quits here, and we'll be back with another episode tomorrow, so, yeah. Definitely not what I anticipated, but we do get a couple of nice wins. That first game, really fun. Second game being kind of intense, but fortunately no Trick Room on the Mimikyu, and then the third game, just a really good matchup for me. So, yeah. It's going to be it for this episode, guys. Thank you guys for watching. As always, if you enjoyed, please share support by leaving a like, and I'll catch you guys next time. Alright, peace.